Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Credit Karma. When it comes to your money, Credit Karma keeps you ahead of the game. You can count on Credit Karma to keep up with your financial needs as they evolve, helping you monitor your progress and giving you personalized recommendations so you can make strides towards your goals. Make sure you're on the right track, no matter where you are on your financial journey. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on. Download today.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And on this Friday edition, Don Lemon arrested, and the feud is just about to begin. It's surfaced between Mamdani and New York Governor Kathy Hochul, an election year for her. She's talking tough against ICE. Mamdani is being Mamdani, and we're going to break it all down because the feud is right about at the surface between the two, about to begin. But last night at the screening of his wife's film, Melania, the First Lady of the United States, the president was asked a question that I think each and every one of us could answer. And the question by a reporter, is he pulling back in Minnesota? We can all collectively say absolutely not.
Back immigration enforcement agents out of Minnesota.
We want to keep our country safe. We'll do whatever we can to keep our country safe.
So now pulling back?
No, not at all.
Sir, what are you? No, not at all. You heard the president there. Dominic Carter here with you on this Friday, 800-848-9222. And I mentioned the movie Melania. I can't wait to see it tomorrow. I'm headed up to Albany, spending the weekend in Albany, speaking at the State Conservative Conference on Sunday afternoon. Even if you're not attending the conference, we'll be at the Albany Hilton. Come by and say hello. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it back for the 11 p.m. show because it's supposed to be nasty weather. But we'll make it happen. It's in God's hands. Let's turn to Don Lemon. Where's that mouth now? Oh, it's because I'm gay. It's because I'm black. No, it's because you're an idiot, Don Lemon. The Attorney General Pam Bondi having this to say.
Make no mistake, under President Trump's leadership and this administration, you have the right to worship freely and safely. And if I haven't been clear already, if you violate that sacred right, we are coming after you.
Well, the White House standing firmly behind its decision. On the White House social media account, it says, quote, when life gives you lemons, the text accompanied by a big photo of Don Lemon during his recent coverage of that protest inside a St. Paul, Minneapolis church, Minnesota church, I should say. Lemon says he was at the protest in the capacity of a journalist. I don't think so. And so the Justice Department says protesters violated the FACE Act, a law that protects people from attacks in places of worship. But we all know Mr. Lemon and the rest of those people, they had no idea what the FACE Act was, but you'll know now. 800-848-9222. This is how CNN reported the news. Of course, they're in an awkward position. He's no longer employed there, but this was CNN breaking the news of Don Lemon.
Breaking news now, just into our CNN newsroom. We are learning journalist, former colleague of ours, former CNN anchor, Don Lemon, has been taken into custody, arrested just days after a protest inside a Minneapolis church. Now, he has maintained that he was going in as a journalist to cover the protest. Let's get right to CNN's Kara Scannell, and CNN chief media analyst Brian Stelter is also here with us. Kara, what are you learning first about this arrest that we should note? A magistrate judge, had rejected the federal government's attempt to put him under arrest just 1 week or so ago.
Sarah, that's right. We had reported that earlier this week that the magistrate judge had rejected an attempt by DOJ to bring criminal charges against Don Lemon. What we have learned is that last night in Los Angeles, in the 11 o'clock hour, Don Lemon was arrested in the hotel lobby in Beverly Hills and taken into custody. Now, it is not clear at this time what he is charged with, or if he is charged in a criminal complaint, or if he is charged in an indictment which would have been returned by a grand jury. But it does appear to be connected to that because, as we reported earlier this week, the Attorney General Pam Bondi was livid that Lemon was not charged at the time. It appeared that they were going to continue to try to bring charges against him. And now we know that Lemon was arrested last night in Los Angeles, where he was in town to cover the Grammys. I do have a statement from his attorney, Abby Lowell, and it says in part, Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionally protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. The First Amendment exists to protect journalists whose role it is to shine light on the truth and hold those in power accountable. There is no more important time for people like Don to be doing this work. Instead of investigating the federal agents who killed 2 peaceful Minnesota protesters, the Trump Justice Department is devoting its time, attention, and resources to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. Now, we do expect Lemon to make an appearance in court today. That is usually the process that follows when someone is arrested, and then it will be up to the judge whether he gives him bail, which would be expected in this case. So we're likely to learn more details about exactly what he is charged with, what form he is charged in, and if this was returned by a grand jury, and then we'll see potentially Lemon later today. But he's being held and has been held overnight in Los Angeles unarrested on some charges that appear to be related to Minneapolis. Sarah?
And that's how CNN reported this, 800-848-9222. Let me tell you something, folks, that I've learned from being around the Southern District of New York. When the feds want to stick it to you, when you're particularly not a nice guy or you're mouthing off, they make the arrest. They make sure that they make the arrest after the last federal judge for arraignment is in the office. So in other words, they make sure that you're going to spend the night in jail. Notice what time they arrested Don Lemon. They could have arrested him in the morning time, in which he would go before a federal judge and be right out, assuming that a judge is going to release him. But they arrested him overnight to ensure the fact that Mr. Lemon got the opportunity to, he likes to do podcasts, right? He likes to do podcasts. So maybe he'll do a podcast about his experience in federal custody. Mom Donnie, and we're going to your telephone calls in just 1 second. This guy is starting to really get scary. So during the campaign, the NYPD Strategic Response Unit, Elite Unit, they're the ones that responded to the shooter in Midtown. Mamdani says, and they also respond to protests. Candidate Mamdani said he was going to disband them because he doesn't like the way they treat protesters. And guess what? Mayor Mamdani is confirming that exact same position.
Yes, I continue to believe that we need to disband the SRG. And I'm currently in conversations with the police commissioner about the ways in which we can do so that are operational. And I believe that we should do so not on the basis of any fiscal need, but frankly on the need to decouple the counterterrorism responsibilities within the department from police response to First Amendment exercise.
So see, that's the cute way of saying protest, First Amendment exercise. So he's more concerned with protecting the rights of protesters than he is with protecting your right. And this guy is the mayor. But he's not the only one talking from the ozone layer. Listen to Governor Hochul on ICE.
The way it's done now is just, it's a joke. So they should clean house, kick their asses out of town, and say we're starting over.
Starting over, huh? So now the feud is starting to surface. You knew it was just a matter of time. It's bubbling up between Hochul and Mamdani. Mamdani and Hochul. Who's going to win? Well, he's got 4 years. She's in an election year right now with Bruce Blakeman tapping her on the shoulder. Mamdani and Hochul. Hochul and Mamdani. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. It really is. And so I want you to listen to this. Mamdani wants money from Albany. He wants to tax the rich, right? That's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. Listen to the mayor of New York City.
We also think the city's relationship with the state has to change. The city sends about 54.5%. It makes up the gross revenue of the state, only receives 40.5% in return. And we also think that the city's relationship with its wealthiest residents, most profitable corporations, also has to change so that we can bring the city back to firm financial footing.
So the battle's brewing. It's bubbling up. Mamdani and Hochul. Hochul and Mamdani. I want you to listen to this. My colleague, Melissa Russo, we worked together for about 10 years together in television. And Melissa is out there. She's doing her thing these days. She sat down recently with Governor Hochul. Now, remember what I just said. The battle is brewing between Mamdani and Hochul. Hochul and Mamdani.
So Mayor Mamdani has said that he doesn't think that wealthy people and corporations would actually leave if their taxes go up. Do you disagree with that?
It's not a gamble I want to take because we're already down about $13 billion in revenues from people who did leave our state.
There is a massive fiscal deficit in our city's budget to the tune of at least $12 billion. And it means that the time has come to tax the richest New Yorkers and most profitable corporations.
He says that the state should raise taxes to help him balance his budget. What are you asking the mayor to do?
I met with the mayor and his budget team in my office just days ago, talking about what we can do to help, but also show us where you're making adjustments. But also, do you really have a full picture right now of all the revenues that are coming in? Because we've been stunned by how high the revenues coming in from the Wall Street bonus taxes are. $17 billion more in unanticipated revenue for the state alone. I don't believe in taxing for the sake of taxing. Does not make sense to me. Never has, never will.
Even after she endorsed Mamdani, the tax the rich message from his base of supporters was clear on stage at a Mamdani rally.
But after these revenues come in, and if they're maxed out now on revenues, the mayor has made some cuts and demonstrated to you that he's willing to do some of his own work to close that budget hole. Would tax increases be on the table then?
No, I've said they're not.
But if Zohran Mamdani doesn't seem to be getting the message...
He's doing what he has to do and I'm doing what I have to do.
Are you suggesting that he needs to play to his left-leaning base by calling for tax increases?
No, I was not saying that at all.
Hochul also says Mamdani's claim this week that the budget crisis is worse than anticipated because of mismanagement by Eric Adams, which Adams denies, changes nothing.
No.
Okay, got it. Do you have any concern that if you don't agree to raise taxes, Mayor Mamdani may not endorse you or might even endorse an opponent?
You know what? The day you start making political calculations and have that interfere with your responsibility to govern a state like New York, 20 million people, is the day you shouldn't be in this job.
So Governor Hochul, and folks, we're going to take a break and start with your telephone calls in just a few minutes. Governor Hochul, what I don't understand is why did you endorse Mamdani without working this out in advance and making him kiss your ring, as opposed to now you are forced to kiss his ring because he may not endorse you. He's the mayor. You are the one that's up for re-election. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And on this Friday, let's start with your telephone calls. Let's begin with Rich, line 4 in Pennsylvania. Rich, what's on your mind?
Dominic, thank you for taking my call. I'm a 64-year-old conservative. I've spoken to you before. I am very happy that Don Lemon and these other folks are going to be held to account. I would never be involved in a protest in a church or a mosque or any other religious venue. I don't know why these people don't know better.
Well, clearly, Rich, they had no idea what they were doing. I don't get it. How could you not know that it's not wise to disrupt a church service? And if you're going to do so, you should know what the laws on the books are as it relates to that. Because the chances are, here's what's going to happen. I can tell you, and thank you for the great call, Rich. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. They're going to go to that woman, the African-American woman. They're going to go to that male, the white male. They're going to say, listen, whoever takes the deal first is the one that gets the deal. The feds are going to say to them, we don't want you. We want Don Lemon. So whoever is the first one willing to testify against him, you get the deal. Now, whoever speaks up first, you get the deal, and the other one we're going to prosecute. In other words, Don Lemon has got nothing but problems. You can hire Abby Lowe all you want to, right? Abby Lowe, high-profile lawyer. Yes, he got Menendez, Senator Menendez. He got him a hung jury at the first trial. He got him a hung jury, right? However, where is Senator Menendez at this hour? In federal prison. You're not going to beat the feds. If I were you, Mr. Lemon, I would stop running my mouth because you are making a fool of yourself and you're only motivating them even more. Judith, line 3 in Brooklyn. What's on your mind, Judith?
Hi. Hi, Dominic. Thanks for the call. First of all, Don Lemon, my first thoughts when I heard about him originally was that he was wanting to be arrested for automatic stardom in the limelight. It looks like exactly what he wanted, and that's what he's getting, okay? And he's going to find out. It's not so simple, Simon. But also, Dominic, he sits there and blames Eric Adams and Cuomo, but he doesn't blame de Blasio. Doesn't mention him. He was mayor. What happened to de Blasio? Okay? And then also, this wolf in sheep's clothing, Mandami, he is trained to speak a certain way that basically camouflages his true underlying communist harmful policies that will harm New Yorkers every which way. Okay? He's trained. You listen to him. He talks so fast, like he's so competent. In the meantime, if you really listen to him, he's so trained to talk a certain way that you don't even understand what he's saying.
Right.
You know?
Right. I agree with you on that. It is an absolute mess. Thank you so much for the call, Judith. Let's go to David, Staten Island, line 5. David, what's on your mind?
First, I have a bit of static on my line. The second thing is, how long was John Lennon a reporter?
Did you say Don or John? Did you say? I hope you said Don and not John.
Oh, you know what I mean. Thank you. I apologize.
Okay. All right. So, all I heard was something about static on. You lost me when you said static on your line. But what's your point? Quickly, I got to I'm sorry. I got to get to a break. Thank you for the call, David, Staten Island. We see all you folks. Gracie in Rockland, Matt in Queens, Mike in Long Island. Time for a break on this Friday. We are coming right back.
Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
So I don't have the quote correct. Some of you ladies may have to help me here. I think they say too cute by half or something like that. Carlos, you or Philippe, you guys ever heard of that? No? You're just shrugging your shoulders. You're leaving me out there high to dry. And I listened to you guys Nightside last night, meaning Tony and Matt Blaze. And at 2:00 in the morning, I'm eating Spanish rice and beans and chicken, and I'm just, it was delicious and with garlic. But now I feel, So anyway, Too cute by half. I think that's the saying. That, you know who that is? That's Mamdani, the new mayor, right? So in one breath, he says there's a $12 billion budget gap. Dun, dun, dun. Right? That's what he says in one breath. In the next breath, his answer to everything is always, but hey, he's 34 years old, so maybe I should cut him a break. His answer to everything is always these stupid little social media gimmicks and blah, blah, blah. So Mamdani wants every New York City department to have a chief savings officer.
This is a directive that within 5 days, every single agency head has to identify a chief savings officer. And then within 45 days, those officers have to come back to us with a full assessment of the savings that could be pursued, the efficiencies that we're currently seeing, and the programs that frankly need to be sunsetted or are not effective.
Okay, so go ahead, put your John Hancock on that. And that will become officially an executive order as of this moment, right?
Yes, this is now an executive order, the first to be signed on Pix 11.
There we go.
So, you see what I'm saying about too cute by half? I think that's what the saying is. He goes on WPIX here in New York, and he's going to sign an executive order live on television. All of these stunts. We don't need Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus. We need a mayor. Mamdani, get it together. Back to your telephone calls on this Friday. 800-848-9222. Mike, line 1, Long Island. What's on your mind, Mike?
Hey, Dominic, how are you?
I'm good, Mike. Get to the point, please.
Yes, I will. What bothers me is what is happening to this country. I mean, I migrated here back in 1971, the legal way, and that's when America was America. You never saw this type of crap that's going on now with these protesters and this and that. And it's very disgusting to see what's going on now in America compared to what used to be before. The better days of America, should I say, yes.
Well, President Trump is bringing the better days back. But this is what happens. This is what happens when you have a party that will do anything. They don't care. They'll give away the entire store to get elected. Remember what Biden did on that debate stage. You have all of these illegals that want to come to America, and prior to being the president of the United States, he all but said, listen, the green light, you got the green light. Come one, come all. Bring everybody. Bring your cousins. Bring your sisters. Bring your distant cousins. Unfortunately, Mike, we're living in a day where affirmative action and you name it. The worst of our politics exists today. And this is why I support and I'm down with Team Trump, because he's trying to restore America back to its glory. If the Democrats get their way, it's real simple. With these nut socialists, the whole country is going down. Thank you for the call, Mike. Let's go to Gracie, Rockland County, New York. Gracie, how is it up in Rockland today?
It's very, very cold, very cold. Listen, what you just said now, your little speech was perfect. It is on track. That's why people like us, we have to have a GoFundMe page, because I don't trust the Republicans either. Because long as they're elected, get along and they're happy and they're go to the cocktail parties. But we have to try to educate the people and let them see how the country is falling apart. People who want the illegals here, for example, political people want them for population representation so they could get reelected. Then the doctors, the lawyers, the social workers, these are all clients for them. Didn't the hotel people in New York and the restaurant people that gave the food that they ended up throwing away make money? Everybody made money except you and me, all right? We had to pay for all this crap. That's why we have to have good commercials. We have to use the media the way the Dems use the media. Okay, now, the meaning of too cute by half is that someone is too cute for their own good and often uses it negatively.
So I had it right. When you say that, there should be a picture of Mamdani next to it.
So someone who is too cute by half knows that they are cute, using that innocence and naivety to take advantage of the people. And the dummies that listen to him hear him speak nicely, and they don't even know what the hell they're saying.
They really
because
don't.
If you say,
They really
why don't
don't.
you like Trump? He's mean. He's
Right.
not my husband. I
Right.
don't give a damn. My income is going up. I feel safe on the street. And I love you, love you, love you. Goodbye,
Love you
my
too.
boy.
Thank you, Gracie. Thank you for the wonderful call here. Let's go, Gracie. Gracie's on fire on this Friday. I love Gracie. She's wonderful. Let's go to Leah, New Jersey, line 5. Leah, welcome to the Dominic Carter Show. What's going on?
Hi, Dominic. Thank you for your call. Listen, I was always thinking that when you have a protest, you're supposed to have a permit. And if you don't have one, it was supposed to be broken up.
Okay, but wait. Leah, where are you driving to right now?
I'm going home right now.
All right, because I can hear your turn signal in the background. You're driving carefully, correct?
Oh, of course I am. Always.
Good. So you're of the belief that you should always have a permit, or you was required to have a permit to have a protest. Leah, there's one big mistake in your premise. You're talking about a society of law and order. Yes, of course you need a permit. But things are so crazy. I mean, we can't even get illegals, in some cases, to do jail time for raping women. I mean, so we're talking about a situation where, and these days of like civil disobedience, the whole purpose is to go against the system and protest anyway. But this time they did it to the right president. This time they did it to the right Justice Department. They had no idea, Leah, that they were about to face federal charges. And so Don Lemon, after the first group was arrested, Don Lemon said, bring it on, just do it. Well, they did it, Don, and, so now you deal with it. Leah, thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to Sandra, line 1, New Jersey. Sandra, what's on your mind?
So I'm sitting in the whirlpool. The pool is empty. I did my laps. I cut it short a little because I was thinking about Hochul and what she said about Blakeman, and I got very upset. So I said, I have to call you, Dominic. Look, I never realized what it means to say checks and balances. We need that in New York City. We have Mandami. Okay. Well, now we need someone opposite to make sure everything is fair and square. And that's exactly what Bruce Blakeman said he would do. He would make sure that anything this man does is okay. And he has such good policies. She said today that she's going to say ICE can't even go into the homes of people. How the hell are they going to do their job if they can't go here, they can't go there? And look, they knocked on someone's door that I know in New York, and this friend of mine said they were most respectful, so nice, so professional. They know how to act. It's when you don't act properly, that's when the problem starts. So look, we need Blakeman to become the governor, and I'm going to say it for a simple reason. We need checks and balances. Everything has to be fair and square. We can't have Hochul and him together. That'll be a nightmare. That's already what we have. We need to change it a little bit, Dominic. I had to get out of the pool to get that.
I hear what you're saying, and I feel bad for you, and here's why. Because you're thinking like a perfectly rational person. But you have to understand, and this is straight up talk, Democrats, they've learned from Mamdani. And what they've learned is it doesn't matter. Say anything, do anything, tell the stupid masses what they want to hear. And then we'll deal with the reality, and thank you for the call, Sandra. We'll deal with the reality after the election, which is what Mamdani's doing now. So he promised you the world. Free subways, blah, 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 blah. 28 days in, there's a $12 billion budget gap we're going to have to cut. It's all Eric Adams' fault. No, it's not Eric Adams' fault. You never were going to be able to deliver on all the things that you promised. And you folks already know how I feel. A certain candidate in the race for mayor made it possible for Mamdani. He would have never won. We'd have never been dealing with this situation. And what does this candidate do? He's up at Yale University with the students anywhere but New York City these days. Says peep, says nothing. Maybe his conscience is getting to him. I hope so. Debbie Lebedo says, Dominic, I want to meet Gracie in person. Oh, isn't that nice? So Debbie, hint, hint, when you invite me over this summer, hint, hint, we'll make sure we tell Gracie, to try and come join us, Gracie and her husband. Let's go to line 4, Anthony in Queens. Anthony, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I want to give you a little advice. I hope you didn't buy your snowblower. Stay far away from the snowblower, Dominic. You don't need to get one.
Okay, so what do I do?
To pay someone to clean your snow, Dominic.
I'm not doing that. I refuse to do that. But I got to tell you this much, Anthony. You do raise a good point. If I was home right now and you go to my home right now, I have one little lane halfway done around the circular driveway. The other half is completely still filled with snow. So I can't drive into half of the driveway. So I hear you, but I can't do it. I just can't. Do you have someone do your driveway, or what do you do?
No, I'm in the business, so I have to do it. You need to stay far away from a snowblower. There's a whole list of stuff to do with the snowblower. You just don't take it out, clean your snow, put it in your garage, and that's that.
I know. Therein lies the problem. Well, someone was kind enough, I don't know if it was you, because you were in Queens, was kind enough to leave a note in my mailbox, offering to help, and I'm going to get back to that person. But yeah, so like, I'm headed up to Albany, right, this weekend, and I've got to, I'm going to put in the car, 2 shovels because it's supposed to be really, really bad in Albany, for this, state conservative party, event. And I got to figure out if I can get back to New York City, and I have to get back because I'm on the air Sunday night at 11 p.m. But so Anthony says, I hear you though, Anthony, on the mechanical stuff with the snowblower, because they don't like me. The snowblowers don't, I'm not going to say they're racist, but they don't like me. I'm joking, Anthony. Anything that requires working with the hands, that's just not me. Thank you for the wonderful call here. Let's see. Let's go to Matt in Queens. Line 2. Matt, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. You hit a couple of points that I initially wanted to call and talk about, but I read the statement from Don Lemon's lawyer, and one of the things he said is this is an unprecedented attack on the First Amendment. Meanwhile, your client is attacking somebody else's First Amendment. And I hate the hypocrisy, but I understand he's got a lawyer up. You called it. I underestimated this Justice Department. I really, after the first lower court initially dismissed the charges because of insufficient evidence, I thought this administration wouldn't push this, but they did. But why Los Angeles? And apparently he was out there covering the Grammys, and I had no idea the Grammys still exist or even were last night. But apparently he was out there covering it. But why Los Angeles? Wouldn't they wait to a different state with different appointees? And I'll hang up and listen, Dom. Thank you.
Well, do you want the honest answer or the political answer? Okay, he's gone. But thank you for the call, Matt. The reason why they do it in L.A., they did it in L.A. because they know that Don Lemon is a total hot dog. They know that he never met a camera he didn't love. He wants to be the center of attention of everything. And that's why he's out there covering the Grammys. And they said, we got something for you, which means that they had him under surveillance. They had to have him under surveillance. And they said, we're going to wait. What time is the last federal judge going home? 10 p.m.? Don't arrest him until at least 10:15 p.m. I think it happened after midnight. They said, wait on the arrest so he can sit in jail overnight, which is exactly what happened. And he better hope and pray he can see a judge today, but I think they have weekend federal judges. And so they said, okay, we'll arrest him, at the Grammys So it'll be a double whammy because now maybe the Grammys will never have him back. I don't know what the Grammys is going to do, but you know that Don Lemon is embarrassed. And I've got to take a break, and we are coming right back.
How does PwC take your company to the leading edge? They bring the sharpest minds in tech to your team so you can bring the ideas that will transform your business. They're passionate about your industry so you can walk into any room with every advantage. And they're with you every step of the way so you can know you're headed in the right direction. PwC builds for what's next so you can get there now. Get started at pwc.com/us/leading edge.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. Don Lemon, the feds got you, and they do it in a number of ways. Number one, you, in all likelihood, Don, are going to jail. And look at the irony of the situation. You post all these videos against Trump. Those same videos you post, they're going to pull the ones from that church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Your damning words and actions and keeping that pastor close by you when he tried to pull away to go back to his congregation and you wouldn't let him. You can try all this First Amendment nonsense stuff you want to. Your same tapes that you do all these videos against Trump, they're going to use those tapes to hang you. And then the second way they're going to get you, Don Lemon and the feds, I've watched them do it for 2 years. Don, I understand you're married to a rich real estate person. Well, I hope he cut the check for about $350,000 to $500,000 because that's what it costs to go to trial with the feds. That's what they want up front, Don. That's what the lawyers want up front, cash. So I hope you or your husband has it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to work out the way that you want to. Don Lemon, I know you think you're Nelson Mandela, but you're not. You're just a has-been, washed-up, wannabe journalist trying to stay relevant. Was I clear enough there? I hope I was. Let's go to line 3. Clarence on Long Island. Clarence, what's on your mind?
Well, I was thank you for taking my call. But I was thinking that maybe take the wind out of the sails of the protesters concerning the illegal migrants, because all the migrants that are here are not criminals. They're people who came to try to set up their families and things, and they made it here and they've
okay,
been
so
here.
wait, Clarence, I'm short on time because you're rambling all over the place. I don't know exactly what you're saying. You're saying leave alone the people that were here peacefully, violate the law and let them stay. That's what you're saying?
Violate the law, but keep ICE doing their job. But
wait, Clarence, it's very hard to understand you. What is your position? Clarence, we have 3 minutes left in the show and all these calls. What is your position?
My position is to set up a situation where people can be able to a safe spot for the people to.
So in other words, leave the illegals here. That's what you're saying.
Leave the illegals in a position where the peaceful illegals in a position where they could have a place to go to.
Hey, with much love, Clarence, with much love, I got to move on. With much love, Clarence, I'm pulling out my violin and I'm actually going to play it. And here's my response to that. Get out of the country. Yes, the violin is playing. I have zero sympathy. And to be honest with you, folks, I don't even want to look at them. Plain and simple. So is that clear enough for you? Let's go to William. Line 4, New Jersey. What's on your mind, William?
Hey, Dominic. I got a solution for your problem.
just get a John Deere snowblower. I priced them over there at Tractor Supply. They're only like under a G note, and I know you can operate it. Believe me, I will show you if you have a problem, and I know you can do it.
But there's a big storm coming. Nobody has supply right now.
They do. I saw a Tractor Supply in Central Jersey. They have them. They're under like $9.99
for a tractor. Those little things you drive. You're telling me, and how am I supposed to deal with that when it comes to maintenance? Well, William is gone, but thank you, William, for trying. George in Rockland wanted to ask a question about my son. George, I apologize. We can do that next week. The moment we get done with this show, folks, I got to get home, and then I am off to Albany to speak on Sunday, going to see Melania tomorrow. And, folks, please help T2T.org. They're doing amazing work.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here? Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.